Corruption itself is a cancerous tumor that has eaten into the very fabric of our existence.
It is commonsensical and logical that if it takes a man with 2 legs.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian justice system has failed the common man.
And the reason why that girl presents her body to that lecturer for malpractice is because she is fully aware.
And in our own education system, corruption is a culture. How can bribery not be a way of life?
Hello and welcome to the Expression Debates, brought to you by Youngsters Foundation with support from DFID Nigeria and other partners. This youth initiative is created to give the Nigerian youth a voice to speak and increase their participation in contemporary national issues. My name is Anastasia Odo, and together with me in the studio today is
Mariam Junaidu, and I am happy that you could join us on today's episode, which promises to be fun and engaging. It's been a battle of brains, wits and oratory as 32 audacious undergraduate teams from over 20 tertiary institutions in Nigeria emerged from the regional auditions in Enugu, Lagos and Abuja to get to this grand finale with only 8 teams standing. This is the final step.
Wow, it has been an amazing journey. I mean, watching the entire 32 teams move through the elimination series into the semi-finals and now into the finals. Grand finale, just 8 teams. It has been amazing, guys. Watching some of the most amazing teams has been an emotional ride for me. You know, watching them being crushed as they try to move to the next stage of the competition. But it is a competition. Someone has got to win, someone has got to lose. But the battle is still on for the grand prize of 500,000 naira. Second prize, 300,000 naira, and third prize, 200,000 naira.
You know, just hearing that amount of money is giving me chills. For an undergraduate, even as a graduate, it's not going to be a bad idea to be a part of this competition. What do you think?
I think so too.
Anyways, today promises to be worth your time as viewers get to win cool stuff too. We'll go on a short break now, and when we return, we'll give you the highlights of today's package. Stay on this channel.
Welcome back. This is the Expression Debates, brought to you by Youngsters Foundation with support from DFID Nigeria and other partners. This youth initiative is created to give the Nigerian youth a voice to speak and increase their participation in contemporary national issues. So, Miriam, what do we have for our amazing audience today?
We have a lot of exciting stuff for you all as 2 teams were debating on the topic, is it possible to complete your 4 years in the Nigerian tertiary institution without giving a bribe? So since this is the grand finale, the final step, each team has just one chance, just one, to claim that prize money, 500,000 naira. I mean, I'm not going to get used to saying that.
Me too. It's a lot of money, you know.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, our viewers are not left out. You could participate in our weekly competition to win recharge cards and also participate in our campaign, I Choose Integrity, and you stand a chance of winning really, really cool prizes.
Yes, so to participate and win, log on to our website on the screen or check us out on our social media platforms for more information.
Well, on this episode, the debate topic is asking if the Nigerian youth can go 4 years through tertiary institution without giving a bribe. What's your take on this topic, Miriam?
I think it's possible. Did you give a bribe? I
I didn't, so did you?
I think it's possible though, but we are not the debaters. But before we go to the debate arena, let's just go to the streets and see what Nigerians have to say about this. We'll be right back.
Because you know what is happening in this country now, in the education sector. You understand me? Is this sexual harassment by the girls? Eh? Is it lecturers hijacking their resource? Is it occurs in the school? Many things, but by grace of God, nothing is impossible. I believe in God. In God, every possibility will be possible.
Of course, I went through school 4 years. I didn't give bribe. Did a master's 2 years, I didn't give bribe, so it's possible. Yes.
Used to be, who are you bribing before? But I don't know what is going on here. You read newspapers, this and that. Initially, you don't need to bribe. Even if you are 40 years, so many companies are looking for you. But this time around, well, you must consider the population.
Amazing views coming from Nigerians there. Public opinions, yeah? It was good, but it's time to go into the debate arena proper to meet our debaters, argue their points for and against this motion.
Yes, it's my favorite part. So for today, we'll be having Team Roa from the University of Jos and Team Dubai from Federal University of Technology, Owerri.
Judges, the accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen here present, good afternoon. I'm here to propose vehemently the motion which states, or which asks rather, is it possible to complete a 4-year course in a Nigerian tertiary institution without giving bribe? At this point, I'd like to say a strong yes, it is possible. Yes, we can. Before I move deep into my debate, I'd like to define some important terminologies in this motion before us this afternoon. The first is bribe. Bribe is defined as giving, offering, or soliciting of any item of value to change the actions of any public officer or any individual. That definition is by Transparency International. Next, ladies and gentlemen, is tertiary institution. The World Bank defines tertiary institution as any institution that provides post-secondary education, which could include both private and public universities, colleges, and institutes of technologies. That's the definition by the World Bank. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is possible to finish a 4-year course in a Nigerian tertiary institution without giving bribe. Team opposition will come before here and tell us or question the culture that exists in Nigeria. In my personal opinion, this is a generalized fallacy. It is impossible to state that over 1 million Nigerian university undergraduates are able or give bribe after or before their graduation. That is generalized fallacy. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, there are stringent policies and stringent disciplinary measures in our institutions today that fight against bribery in our institutions. We've had cases and incidences that can actually buttress this fact. Just early this year, a staff of the College of Education in Akwanga was fired because he gave bribe. Early this year, likewise, it was reported by newspapers that over 50 staff of the Lagos State universities were all sacked. And it would interest you to note that some of these staff who were sacked induced students to pay a bribe of 50,000 naira. These students refused to pay this bribe for 6 good years until their results were actually released. That is to tell us that students can actually graduate without giving bribe. Most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, this point, standing up here on this rostrum to oppose this motion, is a slap on the face of every student who is seated here in this auditorium. A slap on my face and a slap upon anybody who has graduated from a Nigerian tertiary institution. And very disrespectfully, a slap on the judges' faces. Let me give you an example. We have His Excellency Professor Pat Utomi seated right here. If you state that Nigerian students graduate and give bribe, it is discrediting the professorship of the Chief Judge himself. It is discrediting the undergraduate nature and the fact that he has a bachelor's degree in economics and also his professorship in political economy. That is a slap on his face and a slap on the face of every individual who is a student planning also to get into the higher institution who is seated here right now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a generalized fallacy to state right here on this rostrum that every individual who is an undergraduate of a Nigerian institution graduates by giving bribe. That is an insult to the Nigerian students. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no way you can tell me that a Nigerian student can actually finish 4 years and then give bribe when we understand that there are stringent measures, especially in results publication. Most people give bribe because they want to pass, the fear of failure. But let me interest you also with the fact that Nigerian students are students of integrity. We have Nigerian students who are hardworking. And if you are scared of failure, it means you're not hardworking. And for the fact that we have hardworking students in the Nigerian tertiary institution, institutions, it means that we have students who have even integrity. And even if they are scared because this staff will induce you to pay bribe, I'd love to orientate team opposition, that we have the ICPC vanguards in each higher institution. And if you don't have them in your institution, please, they have their offices in each and every 36 states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Please do well to report in these offices. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no gainsaying is saying that the Nigerian students can actually graduate. A Nigerian student, including myself, can graduate with a 4-year course in Nigerian institution, tertiary institution, without giving bribe. Join me in promoting the integrity of Nigeria rather than slapping the integrity upon the faces of people like myself and yourself who is sitting here and our panel of judges. Thank you very much.
Panel of judges, timekeeper, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow debaters, good afternoon. This debate is not to cast aspersions against individuals. This debate is not to create derogatory remarks and a culture of interrogation in a negative way against people that have already graduated from Nigerian institutions. This debate is particularly established to interrogate the problems that already exist within the Nigerian tertiary institution. Team Dubai proposes that it is possible, that it is very, very possible for students to graduate from tertiary institutions without giving bribe for the two primary reasons. Firstly, we reject the assertion that bribing alone is narrowed down to giving financial benefits or remunerations to upstage regular process for personal benefits. We think, according to Merriam-Webster's Dictionary of Bribery, which includes favor given, granted, or promised to individuals to infer and alter their judgment or conduct, is a very legitimate definition of bribery which we are establishing in this debate. So that it actually means that any action by individuals which is targeted towards altering the positions of people in positions of trust, or even their friends, in order to upstage every regular process just for their own benefits or to achieve a particular end, is bribery, and that is why everybody in this hall is culpable. Again, we tell you from the opposing team that there exists overwhelming pressure on every Nigerian student to perform. This pressure is in two forms. Firstly, parental pressure because of the scarce resources that already exist. 65% of the Nigerian population lives below the poverty line according to the National Bureau of Statistics of August 12, 2016. This actually implies that parents use scarce resources to send students to school. So that creates pressures and expectations of students to perform at all costs. So when these students meet very, very rigid systems and processes that frustrate them, students resort to measures like bribing their friends to keep seats for them in front, of bribing their course reps to take their assignments early, or even bribing the security man to allow them into the classes. And this is something that everybody is responsible for. Again, we tell you that society has placed a cost on failure. The cost of failure is created by the idea that the vast majority of students who go to schools are vulnerable, form a vulnerable demography of very poor people. So this cost on failure implies that if students actually spend a lot of time and energy and resources going to school without achieving anything, they become stigmatized and they become jobless. So because of this huge cost of failure, students have created the norm and the culture of looking for ways to actually upstage regular processes for their own benefits, and that is why everyone is culpable. We tell you also from the opposing team that there already exist regular processes that are very unfriendly to students, which always incline these students, even with the most rigid students with the moral compass, to bribery and corruption. Why is this true? The processes that involve infrastructure, standing in the queue, clearances in the universities, going for lectures and expecting your grades to be passed already exist. But these processes have been hijacked by very unscrupulous lecturers. So you see, in an instance where one lecturer is particularly responsible for over 2,000 students, and the lecturer actually says that, hey, if you don't do this, you're not going to get a particular grade, it becomes difficult for even the most strict students to actually rationalize deviation, and that is problematic. And that's why everyone almost always inserts and accedes to this. Again, another reason why the process is unfriendly is because some of the lecturers have created exclusionary grades. Some lecturers say grades A and B and C are almost unattainable for the average student. According to a report by Guardian Nigerian newspaper, 2nd August 2017, there was an assertion that tertiary lecturers in Nigeria create exclusive spaces for grades, making it difficult for students who do not have financial power, or who do not want to actually give bribes, or who do not want to upstage these regular processes to attain these things. So they create preferences for students who have the ability and moral compasses to do this. Then another reason why everybody is culpable for bribing is that Nigerians have identical moral compass, and the only reason why we do not think that we are culpable for bribery is because of selective moral policing. The National Bureau of Statistics in August 21st, 2017 said that 95% of Nigerians are involved in bribery. That means the National Bureau of Statistics recognizes that bribery is not just giving money. So since Nigerians share lived experiences, similar opinions and conventions, it becomes difficult to say that Nigerians in one way or the other, when under pressure, cannot resort to unscrupulous measures in order to alleviate their problems. So we tell you that because of the ignorance to the moral significance of even the little actions that we do, the little actions that try to create pressures on people in positions of trust, the little actions that try to create things in our way, that the little pressures that actually imply that Nigerians are willing to go to any extent to create an end for themselves because of the hardships that they face. This actually means that even these actions of little moral significance mean that we are culpable of bribery. And then we finally tell you that there already exists no deterrence or inadequate deterrence to bribery. This is because a vast majority of people that are involved in bribery at the corporate level go unnoticed and underpunished. So people often normalize the culture of upstaging the regular processes, and this transmits down to the vulnerable demography of students who are in the tertiary institutions who always want to graduate to university degrees. We tell you from the opposition team that the Nigerian university degrees are very much in demand. So because of that, students that go into these institutions would always want to graduate. So the vast majority of instances in which these students are faced with very difficult obstacles of graduation, these students who have the capacity and who always have the weak moral compasses will do this. But in every instance, because Nigerians always have identical moral compasses, these Nigerian students will always want to compromise in one way or the other, even if it is not noticeable by the law or even if it is not socially acceptable as a very relevant form of bribery. So we recognize this and we beg to oppose.
If you're just joining us, this is the Expression Debates, brought to you by Young Stars Foundation with support from DFID Nigeria and other partners. This youth initiative is created to give the Nigerian youth a voice to speak and increase their participation in contemporary national issues.
8 teams battling, arguing for the star prizes of 500,000 naira, 300,000 naira, and 200,000 naira for the first, second, and third places, respectively. You know, at this point, I think I need to air my views.
Go on, girl.
The first speaker from Team Raw, he killed it. He was straight to the point and really confident, obviously very intelligent. And I don't know what you have to say for
Team Raw, I give it to Team Raw. I think they did good. The other team did well too, but I think they did good. We could go with Team Raw on this one. I agree with you on this one. Okay. But it's time to go back to the debate arena. Let's meet both speakers from both teams.
I come from a state called Delta State. I come from a local government called Oshimili South Local Government. And we have a proverb, and it says, Eziafa Kego. In English translation, it means a good name is better than riches. Ladies and gentlemen, impartial judges, co-debaters, it is trite that every person, no matter the pressure you go through, even in a tertiary institution, you can resist pressure. The great Gandhi said that pressure, no matter how pleasurable pressure may be, it is resistible. Ladies and gentlemen, collecting or giving bribe in a tertiary institution, I dare say, I'm in my 3rd year in the Faculty of Law in the University of Jos, and I have never given bribe, will never give bribe, and will never allow anybody I know to give. Why? Because I am a Nigerian citizen. Section 24 of the 1999 Constitution gives responsibilities to us as citizens to do the right things, Choices are given to us. As a person, you have the choice to pick wrong or right, no matter the pressure. Honesty is the best policy, says Nnamdi Azikiwe. Anytime you see a decision that you have to take, you have to be on the right side. Because later on, if you bribe the exam officer to get a result that you do not deserve, you will not be able to defend that result in the long run. Those are the very disadvantages of bribery. I can tell you here authoritatively that Nigerian students are not poised or tilted towards giving bribe. Side opposition here, I'm very sure they are wonderful people, and that is why they've gotten to this stage. I can tell you they've never given bribe. So they should not tell us that Nigerian students are here and they're giving bribe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important for us to know here that every one of us, they're saying that telling your friend to keep space for you is cheating. Ladies and gentlemen, lateness is something that can happen to anybody at any time. It is not bribery. Under the definition we've given you, if one of the judges tells another judge, please keep my space, I'm coming, that is not bribery and corruption. That is catching your space. Ladies and gentlemen, it must be told here today that bribery and corruption is one thing that is a norm in Nigeria. But Nigerians are fighting sternly the fight against corruption. And if you want to say bribery is in our system, I tell you we're purging our system. We're making sure that our exams, in fact, plagiarism that used to be very rife in Nigeria is no longer rife because you submit a hard copy and a soft copy, and then we pass your soft copy through a software that will check if you have plagiarized anybody's work. Can you bribe now the panel to tell them that, oh, I have submitted my project? Do you have to defend that project? And if you can't defend it, no award of that degree will be given to you. Greatest Nigerian students, we do not give bribe. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is grossly regrettable that the entire proposing bench is living in an ideal Nigerian tertiary institution, where everything they tell us when we know deep down in our hearts don't exist in our own universities. Moral philosopher A.N.S. Crombie said in 1526 that if people are faced with similar moral responses, that they are more likely over a period of time to respond if everyone does that thing and it's not morally culpable. Henry said something in his speech where if I stand in line, if I'm in late a line and I tell my friend, please stand there for me, I'm going to be coming there soon, and by legitimate right, I'm not supposed to be there, that itself is bribery. Why? Because I use my skill to upstage benefits to give myself a favor as against someone who would have gone there earlier before me. We think that at that point, it is very, very wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be telling you 4 things. Firstly, while the structure of our Nigerian tertiary institutions are toxic, the report in Vanguard, 25th of October 2015, said that 65% of Nigerian tertiary institutions give illegal certificates. These illegal certificates are gotten through bribery, right? 20% of them from Abuja and Lagos. Ladies and gentlemen, this shows the extent to which Nigerian tertiary institutions push people into bribery. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that universities exist at the intersection of people's individual social mobility and academic relevance. So these are 2 pressures that people are being pushed into. So they'll obviously want to do anything to survive. And at that point where they always want to survive, they would want to resort to this minute thing, even if it doesn't put so much pressure on them to get the kind of grades that they want or the kind of advantages that they deserve. Thirdly, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that people always want to resort to their own forms of escapism. So if I know that if I smile at this lecturer, he's going to give me a favor, I must not sleep with him. I must not give him money. But I might just smile at him and he'll do my favor. To what we think is that at that point, it is bribery. And we don't think that is good. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, is that at some point, we should grant people who deserve certain positions some kind of benefits. But in their own world, they assume that everyone is going to be good and everyone will do the right thing. But that does not exist in Nigerian tertiary institutions. If the MBS reports that 95% of Nigerians exist in bribery, and we've showed you why the remaining 5% are in themselves culpable. I've never ever been so proud to oppose. Thank you.
Wow. Second speakers, they did so well. I mean, Team Dubai, I wasn't really on their team, but I think they brought it back on the second level and they went head on.
Team Raw all the way. I think they should win this. Team Raw, all the way.
Team Dubai. I'm for Team Dubai this time.
Okay.
They did well.
We are not the judges, so let's just go to the scoring board and see what the judges have decided. We'll be right back.
Wow. Team Raw, congratulations to you guys for taking it to the next level. I think they are taking it home. Congratulations, guys. You did well. You did so well.
Well deserved.
It was well deserved. At a point, I wasn't really sure about Team Raw. I was Team Dubai. I was Team Raw before I was Team Dubai, actually. But Team Raw, you did well. Congratulations, guys.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yeah, so our esteemed viewers, you are not left out, of course. You can participate in our weekly quiz to stand a chance to win recharge cards, and also join our campaign, I Choose Integrity, to stand a chance to win lots and lots of exciting prizes. To participate, we log onto our website on the screen, or check us out on our social media platforms for more information.
Well, and as we close, I want to say a big thank you to our partners for making this a reality. And until we come your way again next week, same place, same station, we say together we can build a Nigeria free of corruption in our lifetime if you join us.